So I've built hundreds of campaigns, audited thousands of ad accounts, and one method outperformed everything else in the last 90 days. And here's the kicker. Meta just rolled out a set of updates that makes this method even stronger if you use them in the right way. So today I'm gonna be pulling back the curtain. I'm gonna be going to show you guys exactly how to fix the 3 biggest money leaks in your Meta ads and how to tap into these new features before your competitors even know they exist. So the first thing we need to look at here is creative. We always start with creative. Other than your audience, it's the most important piece here, and the creative actually does a lot of the targeting. So let's start with the simplest fix here. So 9 out of 10 clothing brands, it's a made up number, but a lot of you guys are not ever creating different pieces of content for different levels or different audiences. So most people put all of their ads into one campaign, which it's not that I'm not a fan of that. I do want to break it down into the difference between a campaign, an ad set, and an ad, and then talk about something new that we are doing or testing rather, and give you guys kind of an inside look. I bring this to you as we're doing it right now. So what we typically did was we would let one ad run and it had a top performing ad in it, and then we just let it continue to run, would never pull it and put it into another campaign. So previously the campaign setup kind of looked like this. Campaign, then you had ad sets, and then you had ads. So this was, I guess, previously what we did was we had campaign, ad set, ads, same kind of thing. And then we did a scaling campaign, which was same campaign, ad set, and then ads. But these were just winners so that you could make sure that all of your money went to the winning campaign. Now, right now, that was like Advantage Plus Shopping, so ASC campaigns, and this was just a regular manual sales campaign, which, like I said, we'll get into the 2 of them. We got away from Advantage Plus Shopping, at least in 2024 and early part of 2025, because it was hit or miss. The DPA type of stuff, throwing everything into one campaign was kind of the recommended route. We did go that way. It worked okay, not necessarily consistent. Advantage Plus did a really good job of like getting early wins and then would just die off. But now we're seeing it coming back. So we have a main campaign. I mean, if we have a winner, which for example, a winner is like, okay, it's taking 30-40% of the budget. Okay, let's move it over to this campaign so we can spend even more dollars on it. Most of the time, it's not necessarily necessary because most people aren't spending enough money. But I would say like, all right, you're spending, let's say $300, $400, $500, $600 a day, and then this Advantage Plus Shopping campaign could be spending $500, $600 a day or something like that. Every budget's kind of a little bit different, but I just want to make sure that I have winners here that are actually getting the dollars and cents. The other part of this too is making sure that these winners are things that you actually still have stock in. They are also the ones that could be ran more evergreen that aren't going to just die out. Okay, so eventually an ad does die, don't get me wrong, but we have had some ads that have ran for 12, 18 months because it's been like black leggings that could be sold year round. Okay, so we're gonna break down what this looks like inside of Ads Manager here in a minute, but just want to tell you this was kind of the old way, and then we got rid of it, and then now we're kind of bringing it back to be testing. And right now it is working extremely well, but there's a couple of things that you've got to know and do inside of these campaigns. All right, so what I don't want you to do though, and I guess throughout the rest of this video, is inside of our program, it's an optimized store owner program, inside of our program there's a brand owner. They are out of, I believe, like Idaho here in the States. And one thing that they were doing was setting up campaigns like this. Do not do something like this. Now, I know that there's probably people on the internet who are telling you to create campaigns like this. This is an old way and not a suggested way from Meta to do this, where you have a campaign, and then you have, it's not necessarily the interest targeting that I have a problem with, because that could technically still turn into some level of really broad or like reaching the right people, or at least pointing people in the right direction. It's the ones who do the lookalike audiences, who also do the cost cap. They're doing things where they're focused on a certain return. They're focused on a lookalike audience of like people who added the cart or went to the website. So what they did, what this business owner did anyway, he said, I'm going to send a bunch of traffic. So he set up a traffic campaign, sent people to the website, then created a lookalike audience because he didn't have a big enough audience of purchases, created a lookalike audience, and then took that lookalike audience to try to go after purchases. When those people who he looked alike never actually got purchases. And even if they did, you're talking about so much data that Meta can just go find the purchases for you. So do not do lookalike campaigns. Do not do cost caps. They do not work. It is a fishing brand, by the way. So it's a fishing apparel brand, mostly t-shirts, started out print on demand. So what he did is he stopped doing this, went back to the one campaign. I think he's only doing maybe $100 a day for now. I say only, but doing $100 a day right now, one campaign, one ad set, and then multiple ads, which again, we'll talk about that here in a second. I've kind of switched my methodology here with flexible. I'm not a fan of the way that DCT went away and was sunset into flexible, because flexible, you no longer can see the data. I can never see which creative works. I understand like that the ad set worked, but I never know if an ad is working. And so now, since I've moved to this methodology where I have an ad set and it's with winners, or a campaign with winners, I really need to know which set of creative works. So we no longer do or suggest going through the flexible side of things anymore. So wish DCT was still here. It is not, so we have to evolve a little bit more. For those who are still interested in the story, this brand is now doing a 3x return, which is pretty dang good for them. Still need to work on their email and SMS, but way better than what they were doing previously, making $0 trying to do these lookalike audiences. Hey guys, I want to say a quick hey, howdy, and hello. So my name is Aaron, and alongside my business partner Christian, we created this channel. It is built for clothing brand owners so that you guys can take this knowledge and build the business you deserve to change your life, your family's life. And in the last 12 months, we've helped over 300 clothing brands grow and scale online, generating $150 million in total sales. And we do it all without blowing cash on fancy cars. We've built a 20+ person team. We spend time with our families and help owners just like you create the freedom in their lives. So if you found any value in this video so far, please hit that nice little like and subscribe button. It is free and it really does help. And if you do this in the next 3 seconds, I'll share with you my favorite band growing up. So the second fix here is to know exactly where your ads are making money. When I audit clothing brand accounts, I still see budgets sprayed evenly across all types of things. So Instagram Reels, stories, feeds. The reality is the feeds almost always pull the higher ROAS, as you can expect, or what you would expect. Why is that? Because clothing needs a pause for a moment, just a moment, right? But people scroll, they stop, they picture themselves in the actual clothing. And would I do this if you are just starting out? Maybe, but probably not. Like, would I actually go into this and would I look at potentially moving things around to make sure that it shows up in the feed? Probably not. Meta will eventually figure it out. If you're not spending a good amount of money per day, let's say if you're not spending $200-300 a day, do not worry about that. However, you do want to make sure that you can go over here and you can look at the breakdown and you can see where this is actually happening. Okay, so 11 of the purchases actually happened from Facebook feed in the app, and then Facebook desktop here. So much higher purchases for either one of those than this one right here, Instagram in app. So Instagram way cheaper, actually $30. But you should actually know where the purchases are coming from. So you can go back and look at these. This is a 7-day window here. Some of them are extremely expensive. Some of them are right where we need to be. We need to turn off some ads and make some adjustments here for this one, it looks like. But yeah, you can actually see where the purchases are happening. Facebook, much more expensive. Instagram desktop. Whoever's doing that, $357. Not a lot of people going from Instagram desktop. But anyway, you want to go over to the, like I said, the breakdown, look at the placement. You want to know where the purchases are actually happening so that you can make some changes. That way they are actually on the feeds. Instagram feed, Facebook feed. So once you have that, once you have an understanding of this, you can go a little bit deeper into the account. You can click on it like I did right there. For example, I can look at these 15 purchases and actually see, okay, what's actually happening within this account. So if I click over here on the reach, it will actually show me the performance breakdown. I can look over here at the age distribution. I can see that I'm wasting some money on other demographics. Most of my purchases are coming from 55 and 65 plus, and men, literally no sales from women at all. So I can start to save a little bit of money here and go after men who are on Facebook and Instagram. Turns out there's a good amount of men who are on Instagram mobile who are 65 plus. So knowing what to look for is one thing, but building a system so your account is always improving is a different thing. That's exactly what we do in our free strategy calls. We walk you guys through the foundational framework we use to scale clothing brands. If you're ready to stop wasting ad spend, click on the link in the description down below. You can schedule a free strategy call. There are obviously spots that are limited, so make sure you go do that right now. Okay, so before we even get into building the actual campaign, and I know you want to get there, there's a very important update that is happening inside of Meta that I'm going to pull up over here on the screen. So new business AI for clothing brands. One of the biggest Meta changes is coming this year is business AI. And here's where it's actually useful for clothing brands. So they have automated DMs in your ads. Imagine someone clicks your ad for a new hoodie drop and immediately gets a DM asking them for their size, their style preference, and then even a nice little sales assistant asking them for a 10% code or giving them free shipping. That's the instant engagement, and it removes the gap between the curiosity, like what they're doing when they're actually scrolling through something, and okay, maybe this actually is for me, right? You get like a in-person sales person, AI, who actually gets to talk to somebody, right? So the trick here is to train your AI, which you will have the ability to do, with your size charts, shipping policies, and the top kind of FAQs. Basically becomes like a chat bot, if you will, inside of Meta. So it answers like your brand and not like a robot. So many people are gonna screw this up. Please do not be one of them. But a couple of things inside of here, right? You can kind of see what it would look like. This video clips will be animated. It will include text overlays, so you get some ideas here. All right, so this is for Caraway. It's actually the pans that I use. Highly recommend them, although I don't have an affiliate. But basically somebody saw a set and it says, how to clean, right? So just regular questions popping up. This is another brand that's actually for clothing. For comfort and style, I suggest you lightweight flex pants. They're breathable, relax, and have that effortlessly put together vibe. It's kind of fuzzy a little bit, but this is like a voice message. It can ask you questions and you can voice like message back and forth with it. Like, hey, no, I'm looking for something for a wedding. I'm looking for something for this weekend for a trip. So super cool ability with inside of Ads Manager. Okay, so this one is huge. Meta is also rolling out a virtual try-ons for apparel, showing your products on different body types right inside of the ad. This is huge for reducing, I think for most of our brand owners that don't get purchases right away or don't have the social proof is like, and they don't have a good return policy, is will it fit me? That friction kills so many conversions. And if your brand caters to multiple size ranges, like if you're doing small to like 3 or 4 or 5XL, you can literally preview that in the ad without staging 15 different photo shoots or paying a ton with the apps. I think a lot of apps out there's gonna be some really cool AI apps that maybe we'll be able to do some of this too, but why not just do it inside of Meta? They're literally trying to get rid of all of it. So a couple of things inside of here, you'll be able to see multiple people, multiple styles of women wearing things, or guys. All right, so here's where most clothing brands lose track of their ad spend. They don't actually know where they're advertising to. So Meta now gives you audience segments. This I think launched sometime in 2024. And you can see new customers, engaged audience, and existing customers. But most ad accounts I audit either have them turned off or they haven't set them up yet with the right exclusions. So let's go over here to an ad account. I believe this one has not had it set up yet. So I want to show you kind of what it looks like and how you can add it for yourself. So let's go ahead and remove this placement. Go to the breakdown, audience segments, and you can see here all of these say unknown. Basically, it doesn't know if it's going after new customers or existing customers. Okay, very difficult to try to scale that way. Let's go look at an account on what it should look like. All right, so one campaign here, very high cost per purchase. So audience segments, very low engaged audience, new audience here. Let's do the month of July, maybe got a little bit better and more range of data. One is an engaged audience, nobody's an existing audience. Basically, there's no new audience here at all, reaching very few people. New audience, got 2 purchases for $6.99, great. This one actually was turned off. This one's a new audience, so here we go. So new audience, most of our spend, most of our budget's actually going over here. $72 purchase, probably a little higher than what she would like for it to be. Got some changes I would suggest to this account, honestly. So here's a little bit better breakdown of the actual ad account. This account anyways, doing it in a completely different place. So new audience, and then that's this month, so the first 11 days, we've got 83 purchases for $16 for a new audience. An existing customer, it's $9 purchases, and an engaged audience, which could be from Instagram Reels, could be from Facebook, getting purchases also for $16. This is kind of a breakdown of frequency. You can find out, okay, am I actually going after new customers or am I not? Am I spending money on the right things? Am I not? If you don't have this set up and you don't know what is going on, then you could be setting up your prospecting campaign, which, like I said, we'll talk through here in a second, and it could be wasting thousands of dollars targeting customers who have already bought from you. It's not that I'm not a fan of retargeting. I am a fan of retargeting. I believe that any type of ad is technically, if somebody's seen it more than once, it's technically retargeting. But the last thing I want to do, especially in this account right now, is go after the existing customers where I've got 99 purchases. The majority of them are actually just existing customers, which I will take that cost per purchase. However, I would rather go after a new audience where I've reached a lot more people, which let's see here. I just want to see the spend. Yeah, I'm spending almost as much on an existing audience as I am an engaged audience, and as much as a new audience here. So I would love for this number to be more like 2,000 instead of like 900 here. I do $2,000 in spend here, spend like $200 on existing. The engaged, I think that's fine. But yeah, it's way too much on an existing audience, which, like I said, I'll take that purchase, but they were likely going to happen with email and SMS and mini chat, any other type of way that I'm marketing to them without looking at it on this one. So would make some changes there. Look, if you don't have any of these top three right now, don't worry about number 4. It's just not going to matter, because it turns out you don't need shipping, packaging, any type of customer service if you don't have customers. So if you're going to do this, this is kind of a 80-20 rule. 80% of your time should be finished up, focus on up here, and then 20%. I kind of battle myself here because the 20% down here, the branding and messaging, important. What is branding? We should define this because people do it differently. Some people think it's a logo, which is just Greek for a name. So is it a name? Well, names have no meaning unless there's something behind it. Not a name. It's this feeling that you get. Well, define a feeling. How can you do that? It's like nobody can really define a feeling and then spread it to everybody, right? Black is luxury. No, Mercedes, like it doesn't matter, right? It's about association. So if you're pairing two things together, for example, if I associated my brand with, I did partnerships with Rolex and with Mercedes, well then my brand would be a level of luxury, sure. But if I associated myself with a bunch of influencers who are known for being a part of a drug cartel, well then I would have lower brand perception and my brand would actually go down. So make sure that you are very clear on who and how you are branding. Branding can be done through user-generated content, yourself. Guess what? You watch this, you are your struggling avatar, so you are your customer. It can be done through influencers, which at this point I just tell people who have a level of influence because followers don't count. It's an interest-based market, so I'm worried more about people who get views. So influence, affiliates, ambassadors, okay? These 5 pillars right here will help you grow and scale your brand. Look, if your business isn't growing, it's because of one of these 5 pillars. Right now in the beginning stages, I'll tell you right now, your website, you need a little bit more work on it, then you can start to do something, right? Especially in month 1. You probably have something that looks cool. Please don't have this weird icon for your mouse. Please do not use music. Please do not use this weird video. Like, just give me a solid image of your ideal customer and tell them what to do, and make sure the hero section is clickable, and then go start to create some actual traffic. Look, if you nail these 5 pillars, hitting 20K per month isn't a matter of if, but a matter of when. Here's the truth though. Most brands never make it past year 1, and that's the sad part, because they spend too much time guessing and not enough time executing. 6 months from now, you could be right here, consistent orders, a loyal customer base, and the confidence of knowing exactly what to do each day to grow. Or you could still be stuck in a month 1 mode, burning hours on logos and praying someone finds you. So make sure that you do 2 things. Number 1, schedule that strategy call. Please go do that. And number 2, go watch the video on how to add gasoline to your fire with Instagram ads right here next. Thank y'all so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. I'm cheering for you. We'll see you next time. P.S. Don't forget to subscribe.